people, for God's sake, let me see. Oh, audio, maybe audio and video.
Oh, look.
Microphone settings. Is it
How about under participant, entry and exit phone?
the participant? Okay.
Do you see exit and entry tone?
Here we go.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so I turned it off, so hopefully that's not as distracting, okay? All right, so here we go, guys. Let me share my screen with you.
58, 59, one more, come on, one more, let's get to 60.
Let's get to 60. All
right. See, there's hundreds of kids. Like, I'm not.
All right, I'm going to ask everybody to keep themselves muted.
Thank you.
Just so that we can just only hear me. Really, it's all about me, guys. All right, is everybody good? Everybody can see? I think I have to just switch my display settings. Everybody good? Everybody can see the presentation? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. So, welcome to the School to School Rutgers Business School New Brunswick Transfer Student Information Session.
No,
All right. So, if anybody is here from Newark or Camden, please put that in the chat box. We're going to, so that I know if I have to cover all three locations. If everybody is from New Brunswick, we can just kind of focus on the school to schools from our New Brunswick campus. If you could just let me know if we have anybody participating from Camden and Newark, that would be great. But first, we're going to talk about transferring from one of the New Brunswick schools to the business school in New Brunswick. Okay, so if you guys are at SAS,
I'm going to show some mute, but this is like.
This is what you guys need to be eligible to transfer to RBS New Brunswick. First of all, if you guys place into calculus, okay, you don't need to satisfy calculus, but if you place into calculus, or if you're taking calculus, you need to have at least a C or better, or you need to satisfy pre-calc with a C or better by the end of spring 2021. Okay. You also need to satisfy by the end of spring expository writing. So that's 101 here in New Brunswick. And again, you need to pass that with a grade of C or higher.
I'm going to learn this stuff for the next month. Stop.
Can I ask somebody to please put themselves on mute? I'm not sure who's not on mute. You need to have at least 2 of the 6 pre-business courses, and we're going to talk about those in a bit. You need to have satisfied at least 24 Rutgers credits. So if I have students who have transferred in, maybe you started at a community college or a 4-year school, and then you came on over to one of the Rutgers schools, you might not have 24 Rutgers credits. We're going to talk about that in a little bit because there is kind of a nuance to that rule, but you do need 24 Rutgers credits to be able to transfer to the business school. And you need a Rutgers cumulative GPA of a 3.0. So I know there is a lot of misinformation at the other schools. They might be telling you a 3.7, a 3.8, a 3.6. We are here to tell you that at the end of the spring semester, spring 2021, as long as you have a cumulative GPA of a 3.0, that is what you need for admissions requirements. Okay? Now, looking at the 6 pre-business courses, this is what they are. Calculus, 135 or 151. Intro to micro, intro to macro, computer applications for business, or if you've satisfied intro to computer science, that would be 111. That will substitute for the computer applications for business. Intro to stats, which is 285, not 211, or 401. And intro to financial accounting. So you need to have at least 2 of these plus the math requirement, a minimum of pre-calc. So if you guys have satisfied pre-calc, the 115, you need to have at least 2 of these pre-business requirements. You do not need all of them to be admitted. You need at least 2 of them. Okay? When we look at students transferring from Newark, Tom, did we have anybody transferring from Newark?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So students who are currently in Newark, to be eligible to transfer to the business school in New Brunswick, you must complete Calculus 1, which is 135. So I know Newark has a different math class, but you need to have Calc 1, which is 135, and you need to pass that with a grade of C or better. You also need to complete both English composition classes. So English Comp 1 and 2, at least with a grade of C or higher. Then you need 2 of the remaining pre-business courses. We're going to talk about those in a bit. You need 24 Rutgers credits, and your cumulative GPA needs to be at least a 3.3. So the big difference for students transferring from Newark is that your GPA needs to be a 3.3. You need both English compositions, 1 and 2, and the math that you must satisfy is Calc 1, 135. And you have to have a grade of C or higher. Now, a lot of you might have questions because the university just moved to pass no credit. I'll have the dean talk about those, that criteria in a little bit and how that might affect your GPA. Now, the 5 required pre-business courses that are offered at Newark is the calculus class, the intro to economics, which is micro, the intro to economics, which is macro, stats or statistical methods. So the stats class is 203, stat methods is 231, and intro to financial accounting 203. So Newark does not have the computer applications for business option. Many of you guys will take an MIS class. That does not transfer. If you have questions about that, any Newark students, you can put those in the chat box. The dean can address that. But the computer class that the New Brunswick students take is either computer applications for business or the intro to comp sci, which is the 111. All right, let's look at more for Newark students. So if you are admitted into the business school, you will have to complete computer applications for business. Again, there's no equivalent at Newark. The MIS class will not transfer. And you have to complete this course before you're able to declare your business major. If you do fail to complete all 6 requirements with a C or higher by the end of the following year, spring 2022, then you would not be allowed to continue at RBS. So basically, once you're admitted, you're given 1 full year to complete your pre-business requirements. If you don't, then you would not be allowed to continue at RBS. You would be dismissed. The only business content courses that transfer from Newark, some of those upper level classes, would be the financial accounting, managerial accounting, intro to marketing, intro to supply chain, intro to management, management skills, and business forum. So anything outside of those classes, if you are a Newark student, it will not transfer. This is what will transfer from Newark to New Brunswick. Okay. Do we have anybody, Tom, transferring from Camden?
No one has said that they are, so
Okay.
I think we're okay.
Okay, so we're just going to concentrate, like I said, on students transferring from other schools in New Brunswick and students from transferring from schools in Newark. So what's really important for the school-to-school transfers? So if you are taking classes in this summer 2021, They're not going to be included in your review for admission. That doesn't mean that you can't take courses in the summer. You can, but to be eligible for admission, you need to complete the requirements by the end of spring 2021. That's for both schools, Newark or New Brunswick. Okay? You will not be admitted if you have any unresolved grades. Okay? If you have a D, if you have an F, if you have an NC or a TZ in any of the 6 pre-business courses, or what we call School 33 courses at the time you're applying. So basically, you guys need to pass everything. We're going to make it simple. Just make sure that you pass your classes. Now, if you have 3 or more D, F, or NC grades in those 6 pre-business courses, you will not be eligible to transfer to the business school. If you are accepted into the business school while in the pre-business phase, you will have to complete those remaining eligibility requirements before you declare a major. So for all business school students, all of those 6 pre-business courses need to be completed before you declare your major. If you fail to complete the 6 pre-business requirements with at least a C or better, by the end of that first year, meaning spring 2022, then again, you're going to be dismissed. You would not be allowed to continue at RBS. So we give you 1 year, 2 full semesters to complete any remaining eligibility requirements, those 6 pre-business. And all 6 eligibility courses need to be completed by the end of the summer 2021 semester to enter as a junior. So kind of let's talk about that. All 6 eligibility courses need to be completed by the end of summer 2021 to enter the business school as a junior with a declared major. So I know a lot of times students have questions about that. So in order to be considered a junior, you have to have those 6 eligibility courses completed. That's how you will go on to declare your major. Now, how is it that you're going to apply to transfer to the business school? It's an internal application. You do not have to pay for it. So you can go to the school-to-school transfer application. You can actually go right to rutgers.edu. If you type in school-to-school application, it will come up. It will open on February 1st, and it will close on April 30th. I always tell everybody that it closes on April 1st because in my experience, you guys procrastinate. So when you call me later in April, it still will be open. But the hard deadline is April 30th. But put down April 1st so that you guys do complete it on time. What students always tell me is, I didn't want to apply in February because I didn't know what my grades were going to be. Well, you're not going to know what your grades are going to be in February or in April. So the sooner you apply, the better, just so that you get it off your plate and you don't forget about it. Now, the dean is not going to review your applications until after your spring grades are posted. So that's more towards the end of May. So whether you apply in February or April, she's not looking at your applications until the end of May. And then usually you will be notified with your decision on or around June 30th. So don't panic, nothing's wrong. The dean needs time to go through all of those applications. So I think we had about 450 students who transferred successfully last year. That's a lot of work for one person. And she does this manually, guys. So we just need to give her time to go through all of this information. All right, what majors do we offer? We have finance and accounting, leadership and management, business analytics and information technology, what we refer to as BATE. We offer marketing and supply chain. Once you are admitted to the business school and you have those 6 free business courses completed, you can declare any of the 6 majors. They are not GPA specific. So that's what's nice, that once you're admitted and you have the eligibility requirements met, you can declare any of the 6 majors. Once you've declared your majors and you move into your business core requirements, these 12 courses are satisfied by each and every major. So you might look at some of the course titles and see Intro to Marketing, Intro to Management, Intro to Supply Chain. The reason why you start with these intro classes is so that we can give you a foundation of what the different majors are. It really helps you to decide, what do I like? And more importantly, because you may come to us thinking, I want to be an accountant. And you might start taking our accounting classes and think, there is no way I want to go into an accounting. And you might want to change your major, but be hesitant because you don't want to lose any time, money, or credit. But because of the way the curriculum is set up, with all students needing these business core requirements, it allows you to change your major and not lose any time, money, or credit, and really be happy with what your career is going to be. So you guys are going to take all 12 of these courses regardless of your major. If you need more information on the different courses that you're going to be taking in each of the areas, you can go right to the business school website, and you can also email the dean. She's on this call now, so while you guys have her, I would kind of put your questions in that chat box because she is here live. So it's Dean Felicia Narat at fnarat@business.rutgers.edu. Always include your RUID, guys. It makes it a lot easier for the dean to go in and look up your curriculum record, just so that you're not going back and forth with emails and then she's asking you for your RUID. Okay. So we're going to kind of open it up for questions. If I need to go through and share anything else, you guys can let me know what it is that you have to share. Right. Tom, what kind of questions did you get?
There's been some questions about the PNC grading system for fall.
I figured as much, so I'm going to have Felicia address that because I figured that with the university moving to pass no credit, I know I've been getting a lot of emails regarding that. So Dean Narat, if you can kind of talk a little bit more about how that might impact their GPA, or what that actually means for them.
Yep. So as long as the grades are pass, you're okay. You don't need the letter grade to transfer the pre-business classes. They just have to be pass grades. If you get a no credit this fall in something, you have to repeat it in the spring. If you don't repeat a no credit, you will not be eligible to transfer. Does that make sense? Any questions about that?
So, Dean Narat, a lot of questions that I've been getting via email is, if I'm on the borderline and I think I'm going to get a C in something, and that might negatively impact my GPA, should I take a P instead of getting a grade of C? Would that impact my admission to the business?
No. As long as it's a pass, it's fine for the business school. Your cumulative GPA still has to be a 3.0 though. But you can see all your grades before you decide for pass no credit. You don't have to decide before you see your grades. So see your grades, do some GPA math, and see what's to your benefit.
So if I were a student and I knew I was getting A's and B's in some classes, I might stick with
Keep
that
them all.
grade, right?
Keep them all,
And
yeah.
then if I was going to maybe get a C and I knew that maybe that would put me below a 3.0, maybe I would take a P for that class and keep my A's and B's because that's what my GPA is going to reflect.
Correct. The only problem is going to be that if you get all pass no credit grades for this fall and you're a first year student, you're going to have no GPA whatsoever. And we don't really know what to do with that yet because we don't know what the spring will bring. Spring might not be pass no credit, so your GPA might solely be based on your spring. We don't have enough information yet to make that determination. So just be aware if you have no GPA this fall as a first semester student, we don't know how we're going to be able to view that at the end of the spring because we don't know if we're having pass no credit again.
Okay. But if I take, and I'm playing devil's advocate now because I'm thinking
Yep.
like a student. So let's say out of my 5 classes, I know I have one class that I got an A in. I have a 4.0 GPA and I take the rest as pass because I passed them.
You
I
can.
have a 4.0 GPA and that's what you're looking at.
That is technically what we are looking for, yes.
Okay, guys, I can't help you any other way. I'm giving you every scenario I know. So hopefully you guys can do some creative math, but
Yep, just Google GPA calculator because it's all based on how many credits you took and how many points per A, B, C. So use an online GPA calculator and play around with it, and you'll be able to see what your GPA will be based on passing different amounts of classes.
so we got a question, Dean Narat. If you
Yeah.
have a GPA and choose all pass grades, is that looked down upon?
See, that's the problem. We don't have enough information yet to make that determination because we don't know what the spring is going to be. If spring is also pass no credit and you have all pass grades for all fall and spring, I don't yet know what we're going to do with that because you technically have no GPA. So I really can't answer that yet. So if you have an A or a B, it's best off to keep one grade at least so you have something there for me to make some kind of determination.
So guys,
That's my best bet.
You're saying you need at least a GPA. So if you have a GPA and then you just choose to take all P's for your classes, you can do that because you do have a GPA. But if you have A's or B's, I would keep those to factor in. There's no real reason to take a pass grade
No.
for an A or a B.
No.
And I'm really only saying like if you have a C maybe in the 4 credit classes, I know a lot of you guys have come to me asking about pre-calc and calc, and a 4 credit C, you know, it gives you a little bit of a hit. So maybe that's a class you would want to take a pass in and keep your other grades. So that would kind of be my advice as far as the pass no credit. We have another question. I've also read that your financial aid may be affected if we go pass no credit.
Yes, that is 100% true. That's going to be determined by the school you're currently in. So financial aid is determined based on credits attempted versus credits completed. So if you have a bunch of no credits, you likely are going to have issues with financial aid. That's just the way it is. That has nothing to do with transferring to us. That's completely separate. But you could have major financial aid issues with too many no credit grades. Yes.
We got a question about doing a double major between the business school and arts and sciences.
Yep.
Students can declare a
Yep.
double major, but anything in the business school, you have to be one of our students. So we have
Yes.
to be your primary school, and then you can declare the double major outside of us if it's something in arts and sciences. So you do have to transfer to us to take any of our majors, and then you can declare a double major if it's outside of us.
Not outside of us. I mean, within School of Arts and Sciences. Within the other schools, it's much different.
Especially engineering guys. I get
No
a lot of
engineering.
questions about that, and I usually say stick with engineering then, and maybe look at the business admin minor if you wanted to do something like that.
Yeah, we can't do anything with engineering majors. Other questions?
Let's see. What is the last day to decide for this semester if you want to do pass no credit for a class?
Hold on 1 second. I have to look that up. It's in January, so it's definitely after your grades are due.
When which is great, guys. I wish I would have had that option when I was a student at Rutgers. Woo! While the dean's looking for that, someone asked, how can I stand out from other students while applying? You need to pass your classes. That's it.
Just pass your classes.
This is not like when you applied as a first-year student with the essay. The dean doesn't really have time to read that. If you have what you need academically to qualify, there's no reason why you would not be admitted. So do what you need to do academically, and that's how you're going to stand out.
The deadline for changing to pass no credit is January 12th.
That gives you guys more than enough time to get all your grades and make those decisions.
Don't wait till the 12th. Don't wait till the 12th. Grades are due the week before that. See your grades, take a day, make a decision, move on. Don't sit on it for a week.
So will summer 2021 courses still fulfill the 6 eligibility courses?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just won't look at them in terms of your transfer application.
Right. So you can take classes over the summer, but in order to qualify to be admitted, coursework needs to be done by the end of spring. So make sure you have the 2 of the 6 pre-business, you have your math, and you have your English if you're a New Brunswick student. And for Newark, make sure you have your math, your both English courses done, and 2 of the pre-business courses, 2 of the 6 pre-business courses done.
Yep.
And your GPA needs to be there. So if you have past grades, does that affect your financial aid? All right. So we talked
No.
about that already.
No, pass does not affect your financial aid because you completed those credits. It's about attempted credits versus completed credits. So no credit means that you didn't complete the credits. So it's like a proportion, but it's very much dependent on what year you particularly are and how many credits you attempted versus completed. So there's no way for me to give a very specific answer on that. But yes, if you have a lot of no credit, you could have an issue with financial aid.
Okay. So if you were taking 15 credits
Mm-hmm.
and a P is used for one of those classes, is your GPA calculated on 12 credits only?
Yes.
Meaning only 12 would be recognized.
For the GPA, yes, the pass is taken out of the GPA entirely. You earned those credits, the class is completed, but it has no bearing on GPA whatsoever.
Right. So you'll still have 15 degree credits earned, but the GPA is only calculating on what you actually took a grade on.
Yes.
Okay. So hopefully everybody understands that. Do we have to complete the SAS core as well as the RBS core requirements?
Yes.
So the good thing, guys, is that for students who are in the School of Arts and Sciences, we share the same general education curriculum. So students are not losing any time, money, or credit. I know that if any of you have come through my first year information sessions, when I tell you guys to fill out the application, I always say start in arts and sciences, because when you transfer over, the gen eds are mirroring RBS. It's the same thing. So you still have to take 2 contemporary challenges, your social sciences and historical analysis. That's all the same. So you'd have to complete it whether you were with us or whether you stayed with them.
It's also the same for SEBS too, for the SAS core now. They changed their gen eds to meet SAS and RBS now.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So would there be a way to have a code to take micro this spring? Because it says I need to first complete pre-calc, but then I won't be able to transfer, and I'm very interested in transferring.
Yep. You'd have to wait the year. If you don't have enough of the pre-business done, because you do need pre-calc to take micro. The only thing you could possibly do would be to take financial accounting, pre-calc, and comp apps for business in the spring semester, but that can be a lot, especially in a virtual world. So you have to decide whether or not that's going to be too much for you.
So
But remember, it's Tom here. Remember, guys, if you're a freshman, you can transfer in after your sophomore year and
Yes.
still graduate in 4 years. So if that's the case where you're not going to be able to complete your pre-business in time, then take the extra year, get the gen eds done, get your pre-business done, and then you can transfer next year and then start your third year in the business school, and you're not going to lose any time.
So a student from RBS Newark wants to know, is the same cumulative GPA as other Newark students transferring to New Brunswick? Because last year it was a 3.5.
It's a 3.3 now. 3.3. Hasn't been a 3.5 in 2 years.
Would there be a way to have a code? Oh no, we took that one already. What happens if I meet all the requirements except the cum GPA by the end of spring? Can I still take 4 classes if I don't get into RBS? Otherwise, I might not graduate on time.
You still have to meet our requirements. So if you don't have the cumulative GPA, you will not be accepted. You'd have to wait another year. You have to meet all the requirements.
And are E-credits part of the 24 credits?
It so depends on what the class that was E-credited was. That's a really specific question. I'd have to look at a transcript.
I only need help to fulfill in order to transfer. And I start taking other business courses at SAS. How does that work?
Okay, so if you've already completed pre-calculus with a C or higher, or you've tested into calc, and you've taken statistics for business and earned a C or higher, not that you're taking them this semester, but completed them with grades, you can declare the business administration minor and begin to take some business classes in the spring semester. Those classes would specifically be Intro to Management, Intro to Marketing, Intro to Supply Chain, Operations Management, and Statistical Methods in Business. Those 5. It's only first, yeah.
I'm currently in SEBS and I tried to do that, but it wouldn't allow me to minor in business administration.
You got a response back from SEBS, or like what happened?
From RBS, they said I couldn't do that.
Are you declared as a business, economic, environmental business major at SEBS? That's why. That's
So
why.
do I have to drop that in order to major in business administration?
Yeah, that's a SEBS rule.
So once I drop it, I could minor in business administration and take those classes for a spring.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Sorry.
Question?
Yeah.
Right? How would you be able to double major?
Can someone mute, please?
To double major in 2 schools in one of them currently? Is there a way to apply to RBS without transferring out?
Can all the students please mute? I can't hear Christine.
Christine, can you mute?
Can't put on respect.
Okay. All right. I muted everybody, so.
Thank you. Couldn't hear you. What were you saying, Christine?
Okay, so how would you be able to double major in 2 schools if you are in one of them currently? Is there a way to apply to RBS without transferring out of the previous school?
No, you must transfer to RBS to do any of our majors, but we'll let you pick up a second major in your previous school if it was SAS.
Okay, so again, guys, we need to be your primary school. So you have to transfer to us if you want to major in one of our 6 areas. Or you guys can look at staying at the school you're in and doing a business admin minor.
Yep.
And those would be some of the classes that the dean just talked about. So you get a sampling of intro to supply chain, intro to management, intro to marketing. So if you really didn't want to do everything in business, that might be a good option for you. So I can still apply even though I complete my full 24 credits by the end of spring 2021.
Yes, because we're counting the entire spring semester. So yes, the 24 credits is at the end of the spring, not at the end of the fall.
So guys, if some of you are first year, as long as you took 12 credits in the fall and 12 in the spring, at the end of your first year, you will have 24 credits. So you'll be eligible as far as the credit load. Are we required to use the pass no credit, or can we keep our letter grades if we want? So yeah, you can keep
Yes.
your letter grades if you want, absolutely. It's just an
Yes.
option so that your GPA may not be negatively impacted. But certainly if you have A's and B's, keep that GPA. You guys work for that. Those are great grades, especially, with a remote environment.
And that's the other thing. If you're planning to apply to law school, grad school, post-bac programs, we're not sure how all these programs are going to be viewing multiple semesters of pass no credit. So if you have A's and B's, just keep them. You never know what you're going to want to do in the future. And these programs are not quite clear yet on how they're viewing all of these pass grades. There's some rumblings that nursing programs aren't going to look at them. So you really want to think about not just your transfer to us, but what other things you might need on your transcript for things after graduation.
This is a good question. The pass no credit session is at the same time as this meeting, so we can answer this, but what is the minimum grade to choose a pass?
C.
So if you got a C minus, that's
C minus doesn't exist at Rutgers.
Okay, there you go.
Hello.
Yes.
This is if I apply to the business administration minor, do I have to do it through because there's like a form I have to fill out. Is it through RBS or is it through SEBS?
Are you a SEB student?
Yes.
It's on our business administration minor website. So if you Google Rutgers Business School Business Administration minor, the form you need, the application you need is on that website for a SEB student,
but I
not
have to
for an
do that.
SAS student, just for non-SAS.
Okay, so I have to do that once I change my business economics.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
SEBS
you.
doesn't like you to do both of those because the classes are very similar.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay, here's an important question probably a lot of other students have. So if a student ended up dropping one of the pre-business and got a W,
Yep.
how will that make the application look? Will it impact negatively? Will it make it
No.
look bad?
It will make it look like nothing. It's a W. You didn't finish the class. As long as you meet the requirements as stated, we don't look at the W's. They mean nothing.
And guys, we get this question a lot, but it's better that you took the W than got a grade that was not passing.
Yes.
So it's good that you thought about it, and a W is better than a grade of a D or F.
Always.
All right. So I'm a freshman in SAS, and I would need one more semester to complete my pre-business courses and SAS core requirements. So does that mean I should not apply for fall 2021?
You should still apply if you will meet the minimum requirements to transfer. You don't have to have all 6 done. You just need 2 of the pre-business done, not 6. So you should apply and see what happens. If you don't get in, it's fine. You still have a full another year to do what you need to do to transfer. But try. If you can get in earlier, there's no harm in that.
And you don't need all of your SAS core requirements done.
No.
I mean, you're just in your first year. So the benefit
By the end of senior year, technically.
So the benefit of getting to us sooner is that you're going to be able to use our Office of Career Management and go to our career fairs and join some of the professional business fraternities and things like that. So the sooner you can get here, the better. So as long as you meet those requirements, definitely try to get here sooner rather than later. So can you repeat again what the business courses are? So the 6 pre-business or the business admin courses? Which courses?
The ones that you can pick if you have like pretty much all requirements done.
Okay. Yep. So you have to declare the business admin minor first. That's the only way to register for these. And the 5 courses are Intro to Management, which is 620, 301. Intro to Marketing, which is 630, 301. Intro to Supply Chain, 799, 301. Operations Management, 136, 386. And Statistical Methods in Business, 136, 385. Those 5. And if you've completed financial accounting, you technically can register for managerial accounting. It's not restricted. Take it at your own risk, though. It can be a very difficult course.
Okay. So here's a good question. This is off topic, but if I have a pass in pre-calc, will I get into calc? I'm just scared because passing is 60 and I might be under a 70.
I don't understand that question.
Yeah.
It's a letter grade, not a number grade. It's whatever your professor inputs as your letter grade is what you're basing your pass no credit on, not the number. So in the Rutgers system, there's no numbers at the end that get entered. It's only letters. So if your professor inputs a C or higher, it's a pass. If it's anything below a C, which could either be a D or an F, is a no credit. Those are the only options.
And remember, you guys are going to know that, after you take your exams and everything. So you're going to look to see what your professor put in the system, what it's coming up as.
Yep. No, you'll never see the final number grade in a Rutgers system, like an official Rutgers system. It's always going to be the letter.
So a student in Newark, what about classes like chemistry, physics, and history? Will those be?
They transfer. Yes. Those are all fine.
What if I have credits from summer 2020? Will those credits count?
Yes, I will look at those classes because they are completed.
Okay, I've completed the 6 required pre-business courses and the required gen ed. And I take core courses if I don't get in to RBS.
Only the ones that you can do when you declare the business administration minor. Everything else is restricted to only RBS students.
Does an AP credit for calc count in the 2 pre-business to transfer?
Yes, technically, all of them can be completed with AP credits except for financial accounting. So if you've done micro, macro, stat, computers, and calc, you could even do all of those with AP credits, and that'll meet our pre-business requirements, yes.
And the AP requirement, guys, for us is a 4 or a 5. So if you did get a 3 on an AP exam, that will not count. So you need a 4 or a 5.
Yeah, that's throughout Rutgers, though. So if you're already here, so it's already been evaluated by a different Rutgers school.
Fall 2021 will be my 3rd year. When do I have to declare my major after all 6 eligibility courses are completed?
Yes, you have to have all 6 done before you can come in with junior standing and declare a major. So even if it's your 3rd year, if you're still missing any pre-business classes, you will come in as a sophomore with no declared major. There's classes you can still take, but you just will not have a major.
So again, if I transfer into the business school, do I still need to complete the SAS core?
Yes.
Yes. Because guys, you need 120 credits to graduate. The degree is 120 credits, and some of those credits are made up of the SAS core. You have to follow Degree Navigator. And again, RBS and SAS share the same general education core. So go through your Degree Navigator, make sure you're satisfying those classes. You do have all 4 years to do that. But certainly if you're looking for classes to take, you want to start taking those and get them out of the way.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, the last pre-business
courses that I have to take are macro, stats, and computer apps. Those are the last three. So you said in order to be a junior, because I'm going to be a junior in fall 2021, and for me to be like an established junior and not a sophomore, I should take all of those three courses this spring.
It's completely up to you. We don't force you to do that. You could
But
take
then
one in the summer if you want.
that's the thing. Like I don't want to take one in the summer. But if I take all
Then,
three,
yeah,
it'll be like a lot, right? Because all of those classes are hard.
exactly. So that's why we say it's completely up to you.
But say like I don't like I just take two this spring and then I take one in the fall. Would I still be a sophomore?
Once you complete the 6th class, you will no longer be a sophomore. You'll go back to junior.
So it won't like affect me really. It's just like how I like I'm just a sophomore still.
It will affect you because you won't be eligible to take any classes for a declared major. So you'll have to condense those into 3 semesters instead of 4.
Okay.
So
So
you're making a decision. Do you want to condense your pre-business classes or your major classes?
okay. I'd rather just do my major classes because I know that some of them like are easier to take.
That's again completely up to you. We don't tell you either way. It's up to you personally what you would prefer.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say we get accepted into the business school. Are we able to take 4 classes for the business school while we finish prerequisites, or would we not be able to begin those until after all 6 are completed?
No, there are certain business core classes that you can definitely take while still a sophomore with a pre-business major. You'll be able to take things like management skills, business forum, marketing, supply chain, managerial accounting. None of those need a declared major code to take. So no, if you have 1 or 2 pre-business left, you can start on some of the business classes, just not the major classes.
So when do you apply to transfer into RBS? Again, the application is going to open up on February 1st.
Yeah.
It will close. I'm going to give you the date of April 1st. Okay, so that's when you apply. If in June we find out we got into RBS, can we start taking RBS classes that summer or wait until fall? I don't know if by then if it will be too late to register for the summer.
I'll let you take summer classes if you have an application into school-to-school transfer. You just have to contact me if you have trouble registering for them. But most of the summer classes, like the generic management, marketing, supply chain, all those, I'll let you take in the summer.
Okay, somebody can't hear anything from this meeting. Is anybody else having trouble hearing? I don't think so, right? Okay. Tell me what the GPA requirement for transferring into the business school.
If you're coming from the New Brunswick campus, it's going to be a 3.0. If you're coming from Newark or Camden, it will be a 3.3.
And I'll put that in the chat box if you need. Would it be possible to major in pre-business?
No, that's just a code saying that you're in the process of finishing your pre-business classes. It's not a real major.
Okay, does Rutgers offer Math 115 in the winter?
No, math is never offered in the winter. It's not long enough. Math is 4 credits. 2 weeks is not enough time to learn pre-calculus. It's just not happening.
If I finish all 6 pre-business courses, can I take some core courses in RBS Newark and transfer?
Yes. Are you in Newark right now, the person that asked that question?
Yang Yi, are you
Yes.
in person?
Yeah, email me. I'll give you the list of the ones that come over from Newark if you're currently in Newark. There's like a approved list, but yes, you can do that. Okay.
So is MAP offered in the summer? This is a
Yes.
great question. For those of you who may need calc, if you finish pre-calc and then now you're looking at maybe taking calc, You may want to take calc at a community college in the summer, as long as you pass, and it's an approved course. That will transfer in, but it is offered in the summer at Rutgers as well as community colleges. So that's something to keep in mind.
I have a question
Mm-hmm.
to that. I already asked, and you already, Dean already replied back to it. But basically, I already have credits for like the pre-calc that I from the college that I transferred from, but I'm retaking it again at Rutgers. So I'm not planning on failing, but just in case like let's say it does happen, I would still have to retake pre-calc at Rutgers, even though I already got those credits from my old community college.
I feel like we had this conversation already. Did we talk about this at some point?
Yeah. So I mean, not specific to that question, but you did ask me why I was taking it again.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we had this conversation. If you successfully transferred the credits for pre-calc from another school, you're not going to earn the credits again here.
So
they're either going to remove the transfer credits or they're going to remove the Rutgers credits. So,
yeah, because I
right?
contacted them and they said that they would give me credits for the math class that I'm taking here at Rutgers.
And they're going to remove the transfer credits?
Well, they didn't say that either. I guess I would have to go back and ask.
So that's what I would do. Ask, because if you come to us, I'm going to see pre-calc twice. You're not getting 8 credits. You're going to get 4.
Right. Okay.
But
so
if you successfully transferred it and then for some reason failed it here, I'd have to really look at that and see what happened.
Okay, but I should talk to them and see what.
See what they're going to do with that, because you can't earn credit for the same class twice.
Right. Okay.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, I think you were on our last call.
yeah, this sounds familiar.
Our last session.
Yes.
This is an important question, and a lot of students ask this question. If you fail calc at Rutgers, can you take it at a community college and have the grade replaced?
No. You have to repeat it at Rutgers.
So that's why for the person who withdrew from the class, that's more beneficial because you didn't fail the class. So if you fail the class, you have to retake it at Rutgers. You cannot take it somewhere else and grade replace.
Even if it's a no credit, you have to repeat it at Rutgers. For us, not talking about any other school at Rutgers. I'm talking specifically about RBS. If you no credit something at Rutgers, RBS is going to make you repeat it at Rutgers. 100%.
If you have a no credit for a class, will it affect the transfer?
It depends on if it's for a pre-business class, a business class, or anything else. You can't come in with a no credit in a pre-business class or anything School 33, which is business content. If it's anything outside of that, I don't particularly care, to be honest.
Would it be better to get no credit for calc and take it at a community college?
No, you can't do that. You have to repeat it at Rutgers. We're not going to let you repeat it at county.
That's kind of like the same as failing the class, guys.
It's the same as failing the class. You didn't pass it at Rutgers. You have to repeat it at Rutgers.
Can I minor in something in SAS while majoring at RBS?
Yes. 100%. That's fine.
Is it possible to major in RBS in Mason Gross?
Okay, Angelina, which specific thing in Mason Gross are we referring to?
I was thinking about majoring in fine arts, possibly in Mason Gross. I'm in SES right now, so I'm not really sure. Like I think I'm gonna major in like Bachelor of Arts in SAS and RBS.
That one's okay. That one is okay.
I was just wondering if it worked if I did Mason Gross too.
Not the BFA, no.
Okay.
It has to be the BA in art.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, this is another good question about the calc. So if you take calc at a community college during the summer, would it transfer as passing calc And would I not need to take it at Rutgers?
Yes. So the fact that you're taking it at county means you either passed pre-calc at Rutgers or you tested into calc, both of which are fine to transfer to us. So yes, you can take it for the first time at county this summer and it will be fine.
Just make sure, guys, if you're taking something outside of Rutgers, you're filling out those pre-approval forms, and you're going to submit them to your advisors at the school you're in. And
Yes.
we're just making sure that you're taking the right class so that we know it's going to transfer over to Rutgers. So it really, it's a safety precaution for you guys to make sure you're taking the right class. So go on NJ Transfer if you're going to any of the community colleges. It will tell you the course, or you can shoot an email to us. We have kind of a cheat sheet of all the community colleges, and I'd be happy to tell you what class it is at one of the community colleges in New Jersey that it will transfer from. So I'm a freshman. What if I complete 2 pre-business courses by spring 2021? Would I be able to take the rest of the courses in the fall of 2021?
Yes, you have a full year then to finish the pre-business courses. Once you transfer successfully to RBS with your 2 pre-business classes, you have a full year, a fall and a spring, to complete the rest of them. If for some reason you don't complete them by the end of that spring, we will dismiss you. You have 1 year to kind of get it together and finish all 6.
Remember, in addition to the pre-business, guys, you do need your expository writing if you're a New Brunswick student. So it's the pre-business, it's the expository writing, and it's that GPA that we're going to be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Where can students find the pass no credit form?
Huh. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm going to put the FAQ in the chat for the pass no credit here. That should help.
Guys, the pass no credit form is actually also in your Rutgers portal.
Yes,
You can just click
also
on it.
available there.
But it's not up yet for this semester. So when you go in there, it's still going to show summer. So you just got to wait until the end of the semester till all the grades are posted. But then it's going to be right in your Rutgers portal.
Okay. So if you have at least 2 pre-business and you get 1 no credit at a pre-business, will it affect the transfer?
Yes, you will not be accepted to RBS with any no credits in pre-business classes that you haven't successfully repeated. So you can get one this semester in the fall. So let's say you're taking stat, you get a no credit this fall. You have to repeat it in the spring and pass it. It can't just be sitting hanging on your transcript with a no credit. You have to show that you passed it by the end of the spring.
So do you
Does that
have
make sense?
I think so. Any questions on that? Okay. So
I have a question.
Mhm.
Sorry. So, before I said the only prerequisites I had to take was stats, macro, and computer apps. Do you think I should take one of those courses this winter? So then
No.
No?
No, I don't think anyone should ever take anything mathy in a winter session. It's not enough time. If you want to take a random SAS core class, like a geography or something, fine. Do not take something quantitative in a winter session. 2 weeks is not sufficient to learn the material because you're going to have to move on to our upper level classes and you will not be prepared. I don't recommend it ever for anyone.
Okay.
But that's just me. You're free to do whatever you feel is best.
Okay, so so what you said before, like I could either take it in the summer or I could just take it in the fall of next year and then just be a sophomore and then be a junior by the spring of next year.
Yes.
But then I wouldn't be able to take my core classes in the fall.
You can take some core classes in the fall, just not the ones that require a declared major.
Okay. So I okay. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But Leslie, you have to start with a lot of those intro classes anyway before you go into the courses in your major. Everybody, you have to take the intro to supply chain, intro to management, intro to marketing. So you will have courses to take. It's just that you can't start the upper level courses in your major.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that because then like I was like thinking of my schedule, so I think it'll like work out.
Right. So there'll be stuff for you to take.
Okay.
There will.
Okay. So do you have to take calc for the first time at a community college for it to count? You do not.
If you withdrew from it at Rutgers, it's fine. If you fail it or no credit at Rutgers, it's not fine. You have to repeat it at Rutgers.
And you can take calc at Rutgers. You don't have to take it at a community college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just offering that because if you know anybody who's taken calc at Rutgers, nobody wants to take it here. I had nightmares from 30 years ago taking it. So it still raises the hair on my arm. So that's just an option, but certainly you can take calc at Rutgers. You do not have to take it at a community college. But you can take it here over the summer or during one of the semesters if you needed to, or if you wanted to. Where is the pre-approval form? So I guess
It depends on what school you're in. Each Rutgers school has their own website with their own pre-approval policy and form on it. You have to go through whatever school you're in, SAS or SEBS or engineering, or it's going to be specific to the school you're currently in.
Am I able to take a course at Rutgers in the summer as well as a different course at the community college at the same time?
As long as you're not going over 12 credits. So yes, that's fine, but you have to count how many credits you're taking. It cannot be more than 12.
And if you're using financial aid, you cannot use financial aid at two different schools at the same time. So
Also true.
if you're using financial aid, you may have to use it at one school and then pay cash at the other school. So that's something that you want to look into. When is the latest year to transfer to RBS for a business major?
That is very much up to you. I've had students do 4 years at a different Rutgers school, have a complete change of heart, transfer to RBS, and take 2 more years. We don't stop you from doing that. So, I mean, it's really up to you what you think is best for your own personal situation. You could have 90 credits and still transfer to us. We don't stop you. Does that help?
We don't stop you, but I would probably tell you not to do it. Come back for a master's degree.
I've had that conversation too, but
We'll tell you. All right. If I successfully transferred to RBS for fall 2021, will I be able to take financial accounting in the fall, or do I have to wait until the spring to take it?
you can take financial accounting the second semester of your freshman year and on. Doesn't matter what school you're in. If you're in pharmacy and having trouble registering for financial accounting, email me. There's a web reg glitch with that one.
Is it possible to take managerial accounting at a community college?
This is a very loaded question. All right, so if you're going to major in accounting, the answer is no. You cannot take managerial at a community college. If you're not going to major in accounting, you can take managerial at some community colleges. It's only transferable from some of them, so you have to make sure it's pre-approved to transfer in correctly. Middlesex does not have managerial accounting that transfers to Rutgers. They have a class called managerial accounting that comes in as our financial accounting, which is incredibly confusing. So if you have questions, email me and I'll let you know if it's the right class.
If I took an AP exam for macro and got a passing grade for college credit, will it count as a completed pre-business class?
Yes, we take AP credits for 5 out of the 6 pre-business classes.
And is that the same for expository writing?
Yes, as long as it comes in as 01, 355, 101, we accept it for AP credit.
If I take calculus at Middlesex, will it transfer as calc for Rutgers?
It depends on what course number you're talking about. So make sure you go on njtransfer.org and see what it comes in as. It has to come in as 640, 135, or 151, which are the 2 versions of calculus at Rutgers.
At Middlesex, I believe it's 131. It's
That's correct. Math 131 at Middlesex.
Yeah, I don't have that in my head.
One at Middlesex counts for our calculus.
Thanks, Tom.
Just make sure you fill out the pre-approval though, form 2. Okay, so that's got to be on there. Okay, I'm not sure if I heard the answer for this. Am I able to take a course at Rutgers in the summer as well as a different course at the community college at the same time?
Yes, as long as all together over a summer, you're not taking more than 12 credits. That's the only condition on that.
You can't use financial aid at more than one school at the same time. So yes, you can do it, but you have to look at not exceeding 12 credits over the summer. And if you're using financial aid, you have to, you can't use it at 2 schools at the same time.
I see a question about the GMAT for business grad school. Are you talking about a 5-year program or graduating and then going on for some kind of master's degree? That's on Indeed. I'm not sure what you're referring to exactly. Graduating and then doing a master's. So you want to know if you have to do the GMAT? It's going to be program specific. So we have a lot of specialty master's programs. You're going to have to contact the program coordinator for the one you're specifically looking at and see if they have any kind of waiver from graduating for RBS. Some may not. It's very program specific.
Anybody else?
Were there any questions I missed in the chat?
I don't think so. I was following along. If I didn't get a question, you can unmute yourself. I think I was getting everything.
Who do I email? On Indeed, it matters which master's degree. Each one has a separate person that is the contact, and there's like 30 of them. So if you go on our website, there's a list of specialty master's programs. So depending on which one you're looking at, you click on it. It'll give you a contact.
All right, guys. Do we have any questions, concerns? You have us here. Anything else that you need to throw in the chat box? If I don't complete 2 of the pre-business courses by spring 2020,
The years are off on this question. Are you saying you want to transfer in for spring 2022? We don't take anyone in the spring, ever. It's only a fall admission. So we do it once a year, not twice a year. So you'd have to wait the full year. Anybody else?
will there be a link to see this meeting? Yeah, I recorded the meeting. So as soon as it downloads, I'm going to put my email in the chat box. So this way I can send the recorded version to you. Okay, so everyone, that's my email. So if you do want a recorded version of this, please just let me know and I'll get it out to you. Otherwise, does anybody have any questions, any concerns? This is the time to answer. You have the dean's undivided attention. This is like gold. How's everybody feeling? Did we calm some of your nerves down? Because I know you guys, you get very anxious about that. Don't listen to whatever you're hearing. Basically,
No.
Help your classes. You need a 3.0. You guys can all get a 3.0. I know you can.
Is it hard to get into RBS? If you meet our criteria, you're highly likely to be admitted. It's not a competition. It's did you meet the stated criteria or not? People will tell you that it's very competitive because they don't have what I need them to have. Beautiful. So you have to have the pre-calculus, the XBAs, the 2 pre-business, and the 3.0. The people who are not getting in don't have those things. They're telling you it's competitive because they don't meet the requirements.
Don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to what people are telling you. There's a lot of misinformation out there. That's why we wanted to have this session so that you're hearing it from our dean. She is telling you, if you do this, There's no reason why you would not be admitted. And guys, this has been a great Christmas present for you, the pass no credit, because it could
Yes.
really help you guys. So COVID-19, this
Here-
is your gift.
Here's the one thing though, if you meet the criteria and you're sure and you didn't get admitted, the thing that's likely keeping you out would be some kind of disciplinary or cheating issue. I do check those records. That's why I say it's highly likely to be admitted, not guaranteed, because I do check other things in your records. That's the one thing I'll say. So if you were given some kind of violation for plagiarism, I will be looking at those kind of things, but that's rare. What is the application?
Guys, I was just gonna say, guys, remember too, there's no maximum or minimum number of students. If you meet the requirements, it's not like we have a cutoff at a certain number. So if you meet so when you say there's competition, if you meet the requirements, then there's no reason you wouldn't be admitted. It's not like we say, oh, once we get to 200 or 250 that we stop, we cut it off. We don't do that. So as long as you meet the requirements, then you should be fine.
Yes. The application should not take you more than 20 to 30 minutes. There's a short answer. I'm saying really, really short. I'm not reading 600 essays in a month. It's not happening. Write a few sentences. Tell me why you want to come to RBS. That's it. Do not write me a book. I'm not reading it. And the rest of the application is just like contact information, how many credits you have, what major you want. It should not take you more than 20 to 30 minutes. If it is, you're doing it wrong. I'm taking MIS at Newark. Yes, it does count towards your credits and GPA for your transfer, but once you come to us, I will remove those credits and grade from your GPA. But if it will count towards you applying. So let's say it's helping your GPA, I'll leave it in there for you, but it will not transfer to us for the MIS in Newark. Pre-business course. Michelle, I'm not sure what you're asking.
Are you asking what the courses are for the business administration minor?
Do you want to apply for the minor? Is that what you're trying to say? Michelle? What are the pre-business courses? So there's 6 pre-business courses: microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics for business, computer applications for business, financial accounting, and calculus. Those are the 6 pre-business classes that our students need to declare a major. Yeah, they're all there. Someone's asking about classes you took for the SAS core. Yes, those all transfer. Anything not pre-business or business classes, they transfer. Anything history, art, all those. We're not really looking at that. Those just kind of come. How loaded would it be to take financial accounting with 4 other classes? It depends on what those 4 other classes are. Are they all quantitative? Don't overload with 4 to 5 quant classes in one semester. Balance. It's all about balance. So 2 quant classes and some history, art, science, go for it. Just don't take 4 to 5 quantitative classes in one semester. That's a recipe for disaster, especially online.
If you have AP credit for calculus, you do not need to satisfy pre-calc. You've already done, the higher level of math, so you don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is that it, everybody? Is everybody good? I can't tell. Nobody's smiling on this course. There's some smiles.
It's not that bad, I promise.
Guys, it's a B. You can all get a B, okay? So study hard, get your Bs, get the classes that you need. You can all do that. It will all be fine. Hopefully we'll be back in person next fall. It's a bit of a lot, especially, but it's not impossible. It is not impossible, guys. This is very doable. I have faith in all of you that you can do this.
Yep.
Right? So have safe, happy, healthy holidays. and do what you guys need to. Enjoy your break. Get off the computers during the winter. You guys have been online for 4 months, 15 weeks. Don't go on the computer over your winter break. Well, I don't know what else you can really do because we're in lockdown, but hopefully you'll do something.
Read a book.
That's it. Read a book. All right, guys. So good luck on your finals. I hope this was helpful. I hope we have calmed some of your anxieties. Thank you for putting your cameras on so I didn't have to just talk to words on a screen. We really wanted to try to just ease your stressors. So good luck with everything, and we'll be back virtually in the spring, and then hopefully we will see you guys in person next week. I hope.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.